the Bhabanipur Bypolls. Mamata's prestige battle begins. BJP yet to announce candidate to take on Didi. Will it be a token fight by BJP, or can BJP pull off giant killer upset? The big Bhabanipur face-off, top focus on To The Point this evening.
Well, viewers, it does seem, doesn't it, that the dust on the big Bengal election just doesn't settle. Another prestige battle in Bengal politics after losing Nandigram by just about a whisker. Winning Bhabanipur is a must for Mamata Banerjee in order to retain her chief minister's post. Bhabanipur has been Mamata's stronghold. She gave up the seat to take on Suvendu Adhikari in Nandigram and lost. BJP is still not decided on the contestant who will take on Didi and expected to announce that soon. But for them, they say it's not going to be a token fight. They are going to fight to win.
The Bengal battle may have been won, but Mamata Banerjee is now preparing for another prestige battle. The fight for Bhavanipur. The bypoll is crucial for Mamata Banerjee to retain the chief minister's chair. The election is slated for 30th September, and Didi will once again enter the poll dangle by filing her nomination on Friday. Ahead of the bypoll test, Mamata Banerjee is breathing fire on the BJP.
কুরুক্ষেত্রের যুদ্ধেও দুর্যোধন দুঃশাসনও এতটা খারাপ ছিল না মনে হয়। এই দুর্যোধন দুঃশাসন থেকেও ভয়ঙ্কর। দানবীয় শক্তি, পাশবিক শক্তি, অমানবিক শক্তি, অশুভ শক্তি।
Bhavanipur is considered as Mamata Banerjee's bastion. She has, after all, been elected MLA from here for nearly a decade. It was in Bhavanipur that Mamata started her political journey as a student leader at Jogmaya Devi College. In 2011, Didi won the Bhabanipur Bypoll. In 2016, she won the seat by over 62,000 votes, defeating veteran Congress leader Deepa Das Munshi. Didi gave up this seat to take on her protege turned rival Suvendu Adhikari in Nandigram in the assembly elections. She lost by a whisker. Adhikari is currently in Delhi, where he is likely to meet BJP President JP Nadda and Home Minister Amit Shah. The Saffron Party, however, is still undecided on who it will field against Mamata Banerjee in Bhavanipur. The BJP is confident that this time too, Didi will lose just like she did in Nandigram.
तृणमूल कांग्रेस और मुख्यमंत्री जो नॉन एमएलए हैं वो खुद वहां चुनाव लड़ रही हैं। हम विपक्ष के नाते उनके सामने और लड़ाई पेश करेंगे। हमारे उम्मीदवार रहेंगे और पूरी ताकत के साथ भाजपा लड़ेगी और टीएमसी बीजेपी के बीच में ही लड़ाई सीमित रह जाएगा।
The Congress and the left have already withdrawn from the fray. It's now going to be a direct Didi versus BJP clash in Bhavanipur. Bureau Report, India Today.
Prestige battle, all right. Will it be a symbolic fight, or what is the BJP looking at? I want to cut across to Om Prakash Mishra, spokesperson TMC. I have Priyanka Tibrewal, spokesperson Bharatiya Janata Party. Priyanka, why don't you let the dust settle on this? Are you going to be the one taking on Mamata Banerjee, because that's what the grapevine says?
Well, I actually do not know, because the party has not spoken anything regarding this with me, so I am not aware. But yes, of course, someone from BJP will fight against Mamata Banerjee, and we will have a face who will fight against Mamata Banerjee. And as everyone is aware that the issues in this elections, what we have witnessed after the elections which took place in April, and the kind of vandalism which took place in West Bengal, so that would be, of course, the issue in this election. Because does she really deserve to fight an election after what happened in West Bengal, after the kind of murders, the rapes, and the arson which took place in this election? She should not even think about fighting, because this has been said by the High Court here that there was vandalism. So now she has run to the Supreme Court to say and object against that order. But in that scenario also, are we prepared to have an election? And not just that, it was she who was yelling and shouting that there should not be elections because of COVID. But now, since she has to sit on the chair of the chief minister and continue sitting on the chair of the chief minister, she needs to contest the election and win the election. That is why she says that there is no COVID at all in West Bengal. So, I mean, it is quite imperceptible for her to think that COVID does not exist at all.
But Priyanka Tibrewal, isn't that,
Priyanka
Tibrewal, I want to ask you something. Isn't that a little strange? Because when she was saying there was COVID, when the TMC was saying that there's full-blown COVID, yet you have 8 phases of elections, the state elections, you didn't bat an eyelid. At that point of time, BJP wanted to go full hog. And now for one bypoll, COVID is an issue.
No. It's not just that. See, when there was the first phase, the elections which took place during the first phase and the second phase, that time COVID was not there. That high of COVID was
Priyanka
not there.
Tibrewal, I was in West Bengal. It was the beginning of the second wave, and you and I both know what the situation of North Bengal was, especially Jalpaiguri. We couldn't find a bed in a hospital. So let's not get there. Elections were going on during COVID.
See, the Election Commission has taken a decision to hold the elections. So we are okay with that. When the elections are going on, that's okay. But again, I will say, is West Bengal really prepared? How do we know that after the result of this bypoll elections comes out, the same kind of khela will not be played by her again in West Bengal? And who is going to stop that khela again? We had to run to the courts to stop the khela, to stop the violence.
Okay, all right, okay. Mr. Mishra, Om Prakash Mishra, the BJP says they are going to be fighting this bypoll basically on the post-poll violence, on what took place. What is Mamata Banerjee going to go to her constituency on? Because she abandoned this constituency earlier to fight from Nandigram, only now to come back. Will they accept her?
Mamata Banerjee has represented South Kolkata parliamentary constituency since 1991. Bhavanipur being part of that parliamentary constituency, she has won 6 times. And then, as your reporter also pointed out, that 2 assembly elections also she has contested and won successfully. I would like to correct this report just that I heard, that the CPIM has pulled out of the race. That is not correct at all. In fact, they are very much in the race and they have actually announced their candidate. It is the BJP which is not in a position to find a candidate at all. In fact, all this has led to a lot of bloodbath in BJP. They are desperately trying to find out who would be able to or who is willing to be the candidate. So BJP should first focus on that. Secondly, so far as the timings are concerned, this is the discretion of the Election Commission of India. We do know that in 1996, amendment was made to the Representation of People's Act 1951, and as per that, a by-election, there is a time limit to have the by-election, and that is within 6 months. And this actually was done with regard to non-member of the Legislative Assembly or of the Lok Sabha to get elected. So
but
whether
let me
it
ask
was
that question
Bansivali
again,
in
Mr. Mishra.
1987 or P.V. Narasimha Rao in 1991.
But Mr. Mishra, let me ask you that question again.
Sorry,
she did abandon this constituency to fight from Nandigram, and now to come back and expect the people to accept her again?
No, not at all. It's not a question. Well, I suppose, that everyone is entitled to contest election from the seat that they might decide for. Prime Minister contested from 2 constituencies. Mamata Banerjee decided, our party decided that he should contest from Nandigram. He contested from Nandigram, and as we all do know, that how the elections were conducted and under what circumstances he was declared
Mr.
to be
Mishra, as I
defeated,
bring in
but then
Priyanka
this is something
Tibrewal,
which
I
is
think you
actually
should restrain by saying that everyone knows how the election was conducted. You won by a landslide, but you did lose Nandigram. Have the grace to accept that you lost there. So they could manipulate.
Of course.
So you are trying to say they manipulated one seat,
what has happened that
they could not manipulate the rest of the constituencies, but they manipulated Nandigram.
Can you please not interrupt me? Let me just finish this.
Sir, it's a question.
I'm
I
very
have to
sorry.
interrupt.
Would you like to continue me?
Go ahead,
No.
sir. Go ahead, sir.
No, if you have to interrupt, then you please interrupt when I have finished my sentence. The point is that the BJP attempted to rig the election in Bengal. They tried their every best. They poured in crores of rupees here in Bengal. And they tried to defame Bengal. They tried to create a situation where free and fair poll itself was becoming a casualty. Against all this adversity, we have won in a very definitive way, and therefore there is simply no doubt that in the bypoll also, Mamata Banerjee is going
as I bring
to
in
win by
Priyanka
a record
Tibrewal,
margin. Let BJP try to focus.
Okay, as I bring in Priyanka Tibrewal, so at least now you accept that you lost Nandigram fair and square? It wasn't a manipulation?
No, we have filed a case. We have filed a case.
Okay, Priyanka Tibrewal, come in, you want to do.
TMC should have the dignity to accept their defeat, in a graceful manner. Now we have all seen that how they have formed the government, they came to power. We said, okay, this is what the people of Bengal wanted, and they won in so many seats. Why and how did they lose Nandigram? Because that is what the people of Nandigram wanted. They had their booth agents, they had their counting agents. Then how come they won in other places and lost in Nandigram? Because people gave a simple reply to Mamata Banerjee, a befitting reply by accepting, when she accepted the challenge that she will fight and contest against Suvendu Adhikari. Out of her pride, she left, she abandoned her own seat, Bhavanipur, and she came here. And listen, that was also not just because of her pride. That was because they had lost Bhavanipur in 2014 in the Lok Sabha elections. There was a minus from Bhavanipur because the votes went to BJP. So Mamata Banerjee was very unsecured about the seat, and she was unsure about her winning from Bhavanipur, so she went to Nandigram. But the opposite happened. She lost in Nandigram also.
But now let me ask the same question to you. Priyanka Tibrewal, do you now accept that save Nandigram, which is your one seat, everywhere else where the TMC swept, it was a fair and square win? Do you accept that?
I am not saying that. We have all witnessed that through your TVs and medias. We have seen that kind of election.
This is amazing, because this is what is amazing.
This is what I am saying.
Because either of you,
in the government.
But do you see the hypocrisy here? Both of you will admit to one and not admit to the other. So yes, Nandigram was fair and square, the rest were not. And similarly for the TMC, Nandigram was rigged, the rest was not. It is rather funny.
Yes, because you know very well that
I don't know, Priyanka Tibrewal.
I don't know. There is a difference here, Ms. Chaudhary.
No. Let me complete, please. Because Suvendu Adhikari's strong belt is Nandigram. He managed to give agents and he managed to give counting agents everywhere, which we did not manage to give everywhere else.
And the BJP couldn't do it elsewhere.
And that is why they rigged it. And that is why they rigged.
But it's a part and parcel. It's part and parcel of politics, because usually I would expect these responses. But let me come right back. I want to come right back to Priyanka Tibrewal. Priyanka Tibrewal, why is it the BJP finding it so difficult to find a face to fight against Mamata Banerjee?
Again to her.
I'll come back to you, sir. Give me a minute.
It is not at all a question of difficulty that we are facing, or we are facing any kind of difficulty. It's not at all that, because see, we are not like them that today Mamata Banerjee decides that, okay, you have to resign because I will contest the election from Bhavanipur, and they have no respect for other leaders in the party. But in our party, there is a system of working. The names have been sent from here, from Calcutta, from West Bengal, and Delhi will decide on the names. So we have that kind of a system. It is the entire parliamentary committee which sits and decides as to who will contest the election, unlike everything which is decided by Mamata Banerjee.
Mr. Mishra, you wanted to come in. Go ahead.
You see that throughout the country, BJP is now on a downhill journey. They are losing very badly, almost everywhere. And so therefore, here in Bengal, they did gain certain strength based on certain artificial factors. Now those factors, they have been unraveling. And so therefore what we see that the BJP leaders, they are quitting their party. Their MLAs, they are no longer interested to continue with the BJP. And everywhere here in Bengal at least, we find that the BJP is on a losing wicket. They are trying to stymie our progress in Tripura. vandalism, violence is being resorted to in Tripura, both against the TMC as well as against the other opposition parties like the CPIM. But then we do not find the central ministry, home ministry, sending any fact-finding mission there. We think that the BJP, they have been trying to destabilize Bengal, they have been trying to defame Bengal, but then they are on a retreat, and now first they let them find a candidate. On 3rd October, they will know that what type of a margin Mamata Banerjee has been able to record.
All right, okay. Priyanka Tibrewal, the fact is, if you don't announce your candidate, then how do you expect to come good on the promise that you've made, that you're fighting this election to win, that you're going to be the giant killer?
See, I think TMC should be more worried on campaigning for Mamata Banerjee at the moment rather than thinking who will be the BJP's candidate, because they know this, that people of Bhavanipur, this is the same Mamata Banerjee who called the Hindi Bashis Bairagato, and now these 40,000 are Bairagatos who stays in Bhavanipur. So she's so insecure, and she knows that these people are not going to vote for her. So me and you, we will both watch.
So the question is, before I leave, I want to ask you, are they going to vote for you? Are you going to be fighting? Are you ready to take on the onus of fighting against Mamata Banerjee?
As I told you, I am a soldier of my party. I am ready to do whatever my party asks me to do for the party. And it is not that I am scared of any Mamata Banerjee or the ex-chief minister who lost the candidate and still continued sitting on the chair. So I'm not scared of anyone. Then yes, if the party thinks that I should fight, I will.
This is
10 seconds, Mr. Mishra, quickly, and I'm going to wrap up the bulletin.
Well. Actually, the BJP spokesperson, she sounding very brave. Maybe that she will throw her hat in the ring. She contested the election. No, I'm not trying to scare you.
So you need to be
this is my 10 seconds. Why are you intruding? You decide for yourself whether your party is going to contest there at all or not. Your party president is saying that the office boy is going to contest the election. Don't you know that?
Okay.
Office boy is going to.
Okay, can I just? I'm going to file out of this debate. Appreciate you both. Appreciate. Okay, with your permission, I want to get out of this debate. Appreciate you both for joining us. Well, the battle is on. It's a prestige one for Mamata Banerjee. The BJP says that they're going to be the giant killer, but they're yet to announce their candidate. What's going to go down? We'll keep a keen eye. A quick break. Up next is Rahul Kavar.